Today is an extra special day because we are preparing for Easter out here with Baba Nina, and what we're making is Kuzunak. This is perhaps the most traditional thing that you can make on Easter besides the lamb, of course. And what it is, it's a type of sweet bread. I want to compare it to challah bread, but I can't do so because we actually put pig fat in this recipe. I know that might sound kind of weird to some of you guys, but it's part of the secret recipe. If you don't do this, it's just not going to taste the same. But if you're vegan, vegetarian, or you don't eat pork, you can certainly skip the pig fat. You can put just butter. I will warn you guys, however, that this is not an easy process. It's actually a very long and very tedious task. A lot of people here compare it to taking care of a baby. It needs a lot of love and a lot of warmth. You'll see why later. But we have to do this for Easter by tradition. Speaking of tradition, Kuzunak is made the Thursday before Easter Sunday. And here we're just doing it a bit earlier so that we can show you, because for actual Easter, I'm going to be on the farm. Baba Nina might not be with us. So I wanted to show you her recipe because it's one of the best. Well, actually, it's the best Kuzunak I've ever had. So let me show you how it's done, and let's just jump right in. A quick note before we jump in, if you guys like the video and you want to see more like this, if you subscribe, just make sure you turn on the bell toggle. This way you'll get notified of new videos. Otherwise, they won't pop up.
Много здраве на твоя приятел.
Oh! Много здраве на Mike! Today is really exciting because we're going to be making one of my favorite things ever, Kuzunak. And any Bulgarians out there, I just gave you the secret recipe. Non-Bulgarians, I'm going to show you everything right now. For those of you guys who know me, hi. For those who don't, my name is Laurie, and I moved from New York City to a really small farm in Bulgaria. But I go back and forth between the farm and my grandparents' house. Okay, so first thing is we're going to take 200 grams of butter, and we're actually going to combine it with pig fat, believe it or not. So, no, this is not vegan.
В фурната съм сложила 1 килограм брашно, да може да се стопли, защото всичко се прави, трябва да е много топло.
Okay. And in the oven, my grandma put half a kilogram of flour because it needs to be hot. Everything needs to be hot. Otherwise, the kuzunak, or the sweet bread, it's not going to rise properly. And the pig fat, or in Bulgarian mas, is half and half. Half butter, half mas. We put the butter into the microwave so that it melts. The butter and the pig fat. Quick tip, make sure you put it on low or else it's gonna pop all over your microwave and make it dirty. Now we're gonna break 5 eggs. Eggs is really what makes the kuzunak. Baba's saying that her secret recipe paper is 10 years old. Special.
200 грама прасно млеко, трябва да го стопля.
Now we're gonna heat up 200 grams of fresh milk. And cool thing here, the milk that we have, that Baba has, is the milk that we bring her from the farm. So in this case, it's gonna be cow milk. Some people like to use goat milk, but for Kuzunak, it's gonna be the cow milk that we brought her. Oh, do you guys see that butter on top? Даже 250. Искаш ли да доесипа малко?
Пи малко.
О, ще пина малко. Look at that fat on top. I wish I could share this with you. It's so good. Good. I've talked about it before. Okay, so everything has to be hot. The kitchen has to be hot too. So yes, I forgot to mention Baba actually heated up the kitchen. Everything that you use, including the kitchen, has to be hot when you're making kuzunak, or else it just won't rise and it's going to be this like flat, not in a good way, dense thing that we don't want. 250, не, от другата страна.
Не, тук е кубически.
250, тук до 8. Горе-долу 8. Малко над 8 аунца.
Малко е това.
Така пише. We're having some conversion issues. So we're putting 250 grams, нали 250 grama? sugar. Mira. It's like 8 point something ounces, but...
И самата захар не е от най-сладките.
Taka, we put a little bit more. It's not gonna hurt. Let's see if the milk is... Oh, no, not ready. Make sure your milk is hot, guys. Everything has to be hot. Key. Yes, the eggs also came from the farm. Чак има люспа.
Пете, това нещо ще я махна.
Сега ще я махнем.
Те па са такива дебели тия.
Такива бяха кокошките.
Сега трябва да донеса миксер.
Baba's criticizing my chickens. Because the eggshells are a little fat. It's fine. Look how nice they are.
Тук си имам.
We're going for the mixer.
Миксер, знаеш колко години е?
Колко?
20 типа.
И още работи, смятай. Yeah, it does look like it's 20 years old. Oh my god. Older things work better than the modern stuff though. Now they make everything breakable. Казвам, че всичко в днешно време се чупи лесно, а старите работи са здрави.
Да. Опика брашното.
We just want to make sure that we don't burn the flour. We just want it to be hot, but, you know, obviously not burned.
Някъде е така топло.
Добре. See guys, it's working. It's even got turbo. Pour in the sugar. Набързо. Добре. I guess you don't have to do it little by little. She just dumped it all in there. Hopefully now the milk is ready. Yeah, cool. Стоплило се, нали? Искаш ли аз да го сипвам малко по малко?
Сипай, само че то още малко, ама не сме ще дави.
So, be very, very careful when you heat the milk. Pour it little by little and make sure the milk is not burning because you can curdle the eggs. Сипвам. Our milk is a good temperature, so you can just pour it in there, but be very, very, very careful. I've curdled eggs many times before.
Сложихме захар, сложихме пресно млеко, сложихме, а маята трябва да разбие с малко млеко.
Oops. We made a boo-boo. We forgot we have to beat the maya. Ето я там маята. Мая, я да покажа какво е мая, че на английски
Тя има название, ама не помня какво беше.
Why am I not clicking? I'll translate it and tell you guys right now. The yeast. So we have to beat the yeast with some warm milk. Again goes some more milk. Just a really little amount just to beat the maya, the yeast with. Колко ще месиш другата седмица?
2 килограма брашно.
Next
А сега меси 1 кило.
Next week she's gonna do double this portion because it's Easter. We're actually making this especially to show you guys really, and also I really want to have Kuzunak. I'm gonna be on the farm. We're not sure if Baba's gonna be able to come to the farm, so yeah. We're having a hard time with the milk today. Now we heated it up again too much, so we're gonna put more milk to cool it down. And yeah, don't worry, you can add as much milk as you want. I mean, not as much as you want, but you know, you can add a bit more. Baba's saying that you put one of these little kupchta, these little blocks in cocoa, 1 килограм брашно.
Да, това е 2 килограма в пакета.
In 1 kilo of flour.
Пакета на половината на това.
Roughly this much in 1 kilo of flour. Let me see if I can get
Сега
you.
раздробявам маята и я слагам тук. Е така.
She breaks it down, puts it in the milk.
И слагам малко захар. Когато се сложи малко захар на маята, тя тогава се активира.
Така ли?
Да.
Oh,
Без
okay.
захар много бавно се активира. И сега ще разбъркам с...
Okay. You put a little bit of sugar to activate the yeast, otherwise it takes too long. And also, this is 42 grams, so 42 grams
Учиш
roughly
на много
in a
работи.
kilo. Еми да. В Нью Йорк не правим такива работи.
Вие нищо не знаете в Нью Йорк.
She just said that we don't know anything in New York.
Всичко се прави на машини и затова не е хубаво, ами...
Да.
Нали гледам поточени линии, разни глупави.
Oh, okay. She just hated on New York. I mean, she's right. She's saying that everything is just store-bought and made by machines, so... About that, she's right.
Аз съм много скъпи и аз есенно време си правя хубави домати, български, хубаво озрели. Слагам си ги в буркани и си имам, сега си имам...
И си правиш зимнината.
Ми да. Печени чушки, само ги опека и ги слагам в буркани и ги запечатвам. И сега зимата си имам за панирани чушки, имам си за чушки в оцет и олио, имам да си готвя.
Всичко.
Всичко си имам, ето готово.
Basically, she makes everything that she needs for the winter herself. All of, we call it zimnina, the winter foods.
Пушни.
All of the canned vegetables. I mean, jarred, really, vegetables.
Ще трябва да сложим, то трябва да се разтопи хубаво захарта. Сега ще сложа...
Okie dokie. I'm going to stop things here because this clip is getting really long. If I keep it in one clip, it's going to probably be like a 45-minute video, which I'm not sure a lot of you guys have 45 minutes to sit and watch how to make kuzunak in one. So I'm going to separate it into 2 or maybe even 3 parts. But be sure, if this was interesting, to tune in next week because next week is actually where it gets more interesting. That's where the dough starts forming, like what you're seeing right here, and where we start putting the real good stuff inside. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'll leave it for then. And we start making the traditional braids, the shapes, and pop it into the oven for this beautiful result right here. Also, there's going to be a really funny twist involved in all of this, which basically involves getting up at 4 in the morning to make sure that the dough doesn't overrise. So it's a really fun and really hard and honestly really funny process. We were destroyed the next day. Baba and I slept the whole next day because we kept getting up in the middle of the night to check on the dough and to make the braids and then let it rise again. So make sure you watch the next part. It's even more interesting than this. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was interesting. If it was, you guys could subscribe. And also, if you do subscribe, just make sure, like I mentioned before, to turn on that bell toggle because I keep getting notifications from people or comments telling me that my videos are not popping up. So I went into detail to see why, and it's because you got to turn on the bell if you guys want to see notifications. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Браво на котето. Look, she takes care of herself.